Information in this video is for preps attending Bounty Boulevard State School for 2021. We will cover tips for transition statements, the prep curriculum, and also the importance of reading at school and reading with you at home. Tips for transition to prep: building confidence, strengthening independence, having a daily routine, packing a healthy lunch, knowing our school and getting involved with the school. And we're also going to give you some activities for home. All these things are really important to build up your child, so when they come to Bounty Boulevard State School, they will be able to be successful at school and bring that knowledge home as well. It's really important that we build confidence within the children that are coming to Bounty Boulevard State School, and there's a few things that you can start doing at home. So you can talk about how to solve problems and also about how to ask help from the adults that are at school. So you'll see the visual there around the high five, and we use this at school to talk through problems. You can start using it at home as well if you like, so that your child is familiar with it before they attend school. So the first one is about talking friendly. So if there's a problem, talk friendly to the person and let them know that you don't like it. If they're not listening, you can talk firmly and tell them, stop it, I don't like it. And then they can also ignore the person that is doing something that they don't like, and they can walk away from them. And if the problem is a big problem, they can come report it to the teacher. And then the teacher will help them solve that problem or work out what to do next. It's also important that they know that they can ask for help at school and that they need to report to the teacher if there's a problem in the classroom or in the playground. Often we don't know about problems because children in prep don't report them, so it's really important that we teach them to do this. The other thing we have at Bounty Boulevard State School is our 4 respects: respect for learning, respect for self, respect for others, and respect for property and environment. These 4 respects build our culture at our school. It's really important that we talk through with the children about being respectful for their learning and understanding the importance of learning at school and also at home. We want them to be respectful of themselves and know that when they know something is right, that they stick to that. And also respect others that are here in the school community, whether that be the teacher, other people in their classroom, parent volunteers, or anyone that they come across in the school. I also want them to respect the property and environment in our school, so respecting their own property as well as respecting the property of others and our school environment, and making sure that we show respect. So these 4 respects you'll hear a lot about at Bounty Boulevard State School. Strengthening independence is really important, not only for your child, but it also supports the school community as well. So some of the tips that you can do around strengthening independence is making sure your child can pack and unpack their own bag. So they might start doing this now if they're going to kindergarten, or you might go off to the park and get them to pack and unpack their own bag. Make sure that they can put on their own shoes. So if they're having trouble with shoelaces, you may opt to get Velcro. This is often a good option for prep students. Get them to help you do their lunch. So help you make it, help them make decisions about their lunch. Do they want an apple or a banana? Make sure that they can blow their own nose and that they're able to put the tissues in the bin. And in this day and age as well, it's really important that they are able to use hand sanitizer and that they can wash their hands really well. Make sure that they can unpack their lunch when they come to school, that they can open the lunch box, they can open any containers that you have sent, and they can open the packets of food that are in their lunch box. This is really important to build independence, so they don't have to wait or rely on an adult to come and do these things for them. It's really important that your child understands about daily routines and why we have daily routines. Obviously at school we're very routine in what we do, so when we have lunch, when we do certain activities at school, when we go to HPE, when we'll go to music, and some of the things that you can talk to them about is knowing their routine around breakfast, lunch, bedtimes, bath time, about going to kindy, and making sure that they understand why you have these routines for them and why they're good practice for not only you at home but us at school as well. If you haven't already, now's the time to start to get to know your school and get involved if you can. So some ways that you can get involved in our school is you can come along to playgroup. It's on a Monday at 9:15 a.m. in the prep area. This allows students to see the prep area and know where they're actually going to go to school next year. Also, they might make some new friends that are at the playgroup from different kindergartens that they may not know yet. You can also read our newsletters. You can access our school Facebook and web page. Also take your child for a walk or a drive to the school. Show them how they're going to actually get to school each day. So becoming involved in our school will help your child not feel anxious about coming to school. And they'll know already around where they're going to go and what's going to happen. Explain to your child about packing a healthy lunch and why they need to pack a healthy lunch, about brain development, and it'll help them be a good learner. Some ways you can do this is include them in the choices in their lunchbox. So you might take them to the supermarket and get them to choose what they would like to for lunch and talk about whether it's a healthy option or not. Each day, their expectation would be that there's a piece of fruit packed for them and they'll have this in their brain break time. And this helps them to continue their learning and to refresh for the next session. When your child comes to school, they'll be engaging in the Australian curriculum. So in prep, we'll have English, mathematics, science, HAS, which is what you may know as history and geography, the arts, which includes drama, music, visual arts. We do gross motor, fine motor, HPE, which is health and physical education. And we also have play choices as well. So part of our curriculum is play-based and as well as explicit instruction. Play is really important for children in prep, and we nurture this when they come. One of the important things is about reading. So it's really important that you read to your child at home, and they'll eventually be reading to you at home as the year goes on. So they'll come to school, most of them as non-readers, and by the end of the year, they'll be readers and writers. So make sure you make it a fun experience, but you ask them questions too about the book. Who's in the book? What's happening in the book? Why do they think particular things have happened in the book? You can also talk to them about what happened in the beginning of the book, the middle of the book, and the end of the book. These are all things that we will cover at school, and it's important that it's reinforced at home as well. But make it a fun experience. Allow them to pick the book, even if it's the same book over and over again. It's about enjoying reading and making it fun. Activities that you can do at home with your child include, as we mentioned, reading to your child, write their name and be able to recognise their name as well and recognise the letters in their name. This is really important because when they come to school, they obviously will have objects that have been labelled. So their school bag, their hat, their jumpers need to be able to recognise that it's their belonging, and one way they do that is by their name. Also counting different objects, but you can make this fun so they can count the steps as they walk up them, as they walk down them. Other things they can do are playing sport. Sport's really good for team building activities and being able to share as part of a team. Go and discover new places. Ask them lots of questions and get them to ask questions too and be curious about the environment around them. You can sing to them and do nursery rhymes. All these things will help your child to be successful at school. At your child's kindergarten, they will ask you to sign a consent form for a transition statement. These statements are really important to be sent to the school, as the teachers use this information to help them to understand your child and make sure that they are supported from the moment they come to school. So if your kindergarten hasn't asked you to sign the consent, make sure you ask them about it, and if you get the transition statement, that you forward it on to us, and so that we can use all this valuable information to support not only your child but your family. These are some dates to remember for our fun days and our orientation days. So fun days are about you coming with your child for an hour and just experiencing prep and what it's like and doing some fun activities. So when your child comes to orientation, they won't be as nervous about coming with the staff when we go and do some activities without their parents. So during orientation, we do some observations to see what your child is like and how they interact with other children. And we use this information as well as the transition statements to form our classes and to make decisions. So it's really important that you get involved in both lots of days so that your child has an experience of school before they attend. If you have any questions, make sure you contact the school and our enrolments officer will be happy to help you. If they are unable to answer your questions, they will hand it on to the relevant department so that they can support your child and yourself with answering those questions. We thank you for choosing Bounty Boulevard State School as your primary school for 2021, and we look forward to meeting you all in the future.